Still, we got a problem. Keep it in there. Keep it in the cell.
Use it as kinder.
Yeah, what it is, it's in the,
6:01.
Thank you.
Call to order.
We'll get a roll call. Director Collins,
Eric Calvin's is absent tonight. He's at another engagement.
Director Gregory,
Here.
Director Baker,
Here.
Director Davis,
Here.
Director Smiley.
Here.
I need approval or change of the regular meeting agenda.
I'd like to get approval and move the 20-minute presentation to the end, right before we adjourn to the Community Services, right after we move to adjourn to the Community Services District Groundwater Sustainability Agency,
And before the action item.
before the action item.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none. Vote set.
Okay. Everybody please rise. The Pledge of Allegiance. Would kindly repeat with me the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'll have public comment and communications for items that are not on the agenda. Persons wishing to speak on a matter not on the agenda may be heard at this time. However, no action will be taken until placed on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Please sign in at the lectern and put your name and address if you have any comments. Anybody have a comment they'd like to make at this time? Okay. Moving on. Item 6, special present. Okay, we're skipping that to the end. 7, non-district reports, San Luis Obispo County organizations. Sheriff's Department. Welcome.
Good evening. Good evening, Michael Manuel, Commander, Sheriff from our station. I have your report for August 2024. Station, 1,614 calls for service. Last year we had 1,584, a change of about 2%. Templeton had 347 calls for service. San Miguel, 193. Compared to last year, we had 183, 5% increase. From those calls for service, the station generated 228 reports. Last year's 238, a drop of about 4%. Templeton, for comparison, had 78 reports. San Miguel, 34. Last year, we had 24, an increase of 28%. 10 reports. Or, I'm sorry, 38%. Breaking those calls for service down into specific areas, assault and battery. We saw 7 calls for service generating 5 reports. In one of those calls, deputies were dispatched to a report of a disturbance between a male and a female. One of those parties was arrested for an outstanding warrant. Then we had a subject in front of the store was harassing customers and asked them to smoke meth with them. There were 0 burglaries. We had 1 theft, generated 1 report, table saw stolen off of the front porch. No vandalisms. I thought I corrected this. We had 3 trespasses. My notes show 0. No reports were generated. We had a truck that was seen on neighbor's property, motorcycle in the school field, and a subject smoking marijuana behind the church. So we got someone selling or asking us to smoke meth out there at the store, and now we got marijuana behind the church. Scams, no scams to report there. 7 suspicious circumstances, none of those generated reports. We did have 1 subject call in, hearing 3 subjects were outside the caller's house. Early in the morning, they called back again. Neither time were we able to locate anyone. We also had a subject come on to the seller's property and tried to sell narcotics. Drugs seem to be generating a few calls for service there. Just on a note, there's a growing trend of criminals to scout banks. They go to banks, they look for people withdrawing large amounts of money, and then they have been following them home. Thankfully, we haven't seen this in our area, but I've seen it in other areas of the state. They follow them home, they follow them to the businesses, then they rob them and get that large amount of cash. And that is my report for this month.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Questions?
I don't have any. Does the board have any?
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Do it if
Community services organizations. Good evening.
Scott Young, Central Firefighter Association. It's that time of the year, we're focused on Christmas, so we're still looking for potential toy donors. We do a large toy drive, and that supports our Santa Claus visit, usually about 260 kids on Christmas Santa visit / parade day. Our blood drive was successful in collaboration with the fire department. We collected 30 pints of blood, enough blood to save 90 lives potentially, and I guess it wasn't a big need. Within a week, I received a text message saying, hey, your blood was used. So I guess the urgent need is out there. Other than that, I have nothing to report.
Questions on the board?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Kemp Roberts. Okay. Any public comment on any of those items, 1 through 3? Seeing none, move on to staff reports and committee. Receive and file, general manager.
Good evening. The only thing I have to provide tonight is that we did hold the cleanup, or the community cleanup on the 20th, 21st, all day Friday, half day Saturday. We ended up with 32 mattresses, half of a dump truck load, or a dump trailer load rather, electronics, and three full trash roll-offs and 2 full steel or metal roll-offs. So collected a lot of trash. The senior center was able to have somebody here to help talk to people about, joining the senior center. We also had a representative from Science Discovery who works for IWMA, and they provided information and trash cans and things for recycling and food waste recycling.
We have like 60.
Gave away 60 of the food waste?
Yeah.
Food waste recycling cans. So all in all, it was pretty productive. I think it was pretty well received.
Any question?
Yeah. Were you asking people the area, or was it just for San Miguel C.S.D. area, or were you expanding the area, or you were receiving?
So it was only advertised for San Miguel residents.
Do you know if anyone, their friends, family, or whatever came that were from outside the area?
Not that we knew for sure. We knew most of the people that showed up.
Okay.
So there may have been somebody, but it wasn't, if there was, it was a couple people.
Okay. Well, that's a wonderful, how does that compare to other years? Did you do
So
it last year?
previously, we've only done it on Saturday from 7 to 12. And on those days, it was a lot of people, probably just as many as we had in 2 days, but we had it spread over 2 days. So it was a lot easier on staff to do that.
Okay.
Was it any better? It was better for us. I don't know if it was any more convenient for people to be able to bring it on Friday. We did get quite a bit on Friday.
Yeah.
Probably just as much on Friday as we got on Saturday.
No, I think that's great. I mean, just to think of all that stuff could have been just, left out somewhere. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's great. Appreciate it.
Director Baker. Okay, anything? Owens?
I'm good.
Okay. Next is District Council. Welcome, Christina. How are you tonight?
Good evening. I'm great. Hope you guys are doing well. There's nothing from me tonight.
Okay. Any questions before? No. Baker?
No.
Cole?
No.
District Utilities?
My report is submitted. If you have any questions, be happy to answer.
I just have a couple of notes here. So we have 21 accounts, 60 days overdue. That's pretty high. We don't normally have that many accounts that are past due, do we?
No, we don't, but I've noticed an influx of people moving out and a lot of new people moving in.
Okay.
I think that might be a little bit to do with it.
Okay.
Just kind of getting their routine.
Okay. And then my other question is the household hazardous waste. Is that moving forward?
So that is moving forward. We're working through permitting essentially right now. And there was some issues with IWMA that have hopefully been resolved. So it should be moving forward. We met with Cleaner Earth, who is the company, or that's the company that actually manages it on behalf of IWMA. We met with them, and at this point, there doesn't look like there's any major problems to moving forward. We just need to get approval from environmental health, which we had previously, but it's been a while. And then we'll be able to move forward.
Okay, that's great.
Good.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I'm good. I got a question. On this hazardous waste, I'm sure you're aware there's quite a bit goes into that. And what kind of storage facilities are you going to have to put in place to receive that?
So Cleaner Earth is what I'll refer to it as, but it's through IWMA. So all that money comes from IWMA. Cleaner Earth will provide a secure, it's basically an oversized C-train that is specially designed with blast doors and fire retardant and everything it needs to protect from either the material catching on fire, the material exploding, or the material spilling. So it's self-contained. Everything that's necessary to meet all state requirements is within that container. It'll go on a concrete slab that'll be provided by IWMA, and everything that comes into that would go into that container and be cataloged and maintained until it's transported out on equally robust truck to wherever it's finally disposed of.
And manned by them.
Yeah, and the important part is it's manned by Cleaner. They're 100% responsible for it. They'll, on any collection days, they'll be there to man it, to have their staff who are trained to man it, accept the material, catalog it, and store it.
So you're saying that it isn't going to cost the district a penny?
So it shouldn't cost us anything. If we elect to have people collect material on off days, then that would be on us. But the container, the concrete, any site preparation, any fencing, any of that would be paid by IWMA. That's not a cost to the district. If there is a cost to the district, which was discussed at our meeting, that cost would be reimbursed to the district, because it shouldn't cost the district anything.
Should.
I mean, we would be giving up space for it, obviously, but to the side of that, it should be zero cost to the district.
Well, I think it's a bad idea myself, but that's just me. Because we're taking all the crap from the rest of the county as far as these porta-johns and everything right now here, so I just don't think San Miguel should be a dump for the rest of the county. You know, and this just adds to what we're already doing. They bring sewage in, we have to treat it with our plant, and so on. And I just, we don't need the whole county bringing their waste to San Miguel. They don't take it anywhere else, because we're the only ones that take it, right?
We don't take portage on waste. I made that perfectly clear.
Well, I know, but when you pump a septic tank, that's the,
Well, pumping a septic tank isn't the same as a portage on.
it's still got the same crap in it.
Yes, it does take people waste, but it has other chemicals which we cannot
Yeah.
process, so we do not take that.
We're talking about hazardous waste here. Not-
So I understand your point that you don't want San Miguel to be a quote-unquote dumping ground, but at the same time, we are a dumping ground because we find constantly things on the side of the road where people are like, I don't have anywhere to put it, just throw it on the side of the road. Drive on any of the outskirts here, you're going to find trash. Right there at River Road and River Road and Cross Canyon. That empty lot right there, it's constantly got trash, mattresses, TVs, everything, constantly. The county picks it up thankfully, but if people have a place to take it, they'll generally take it there. If this board elects not to have household hazardous waste, then that's fine. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I think personally that it's a good thing for the community, it's a good thing for the outlying areas to have some place to take it. Most people, like when we started taking mattresses, nobody knew where to take them. You order something online, you have something delivered, you end up with 2, 3, whatever. You take them for free. It doesn't, there's very minimal cost to that. And it keeps them off the side of the road, keeps them out in the alley.
Well, there's plenty of places in the county that you take hazardous waste, oil, paint, and so on.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't, because I've been doing that for the last few weeks.
You got
and I've
paint
been having
stuff, you can
problems.
take it back to a hardware
No,
store.
that's not how it works. You can, if the container doesn't have a label on it anymore, you cannot take it anywhere. There isn't a blanket place to take it. And I know right now, as a fact, that there is at least 5 locations here in the San Miguel C.S.D. that has over 50 gallons of hazardous waste. Each. So as soon as some mechanism is instilled for us to be able to collect it and get it out of here, that's basically what we're doing. I think it's a wonderful project because it is cleaning up our area. We're not collecting it, saving it, and hoarding it. We're collecting it and getting it moved out.
I would agree with that, and the cost is near zero, right?
So, I mean, essentially at this point,
Yeah.
the only cost to the district is my time to work on it.
Right.
And, eventually legal time to look at agreements.
And the other sites around the county which I've used, they have new rules now, but you have to make sure that you get there with labels like she said. It's for free. So if you have the labels, if you have the waste, you can drop it off there. But it's something that's needed here because I don't know how many of my friends that have something, now I don't want to go to the dump. I don't want to drive her out there, interrupt my day. A lot of people feel that's why they just throw the mattress on the side of the road instead of taking the time to drive down and get rid of it properly. So I think it's a great idea. Okay, any other comments? Okay, fire chief report.
Good evening. My report is submitted as written with a couple little caveats. One, I would like to thank Commander Manueli. Once again, he sent out deputies during cruise night, which was a couple Fridays ago. And their presence made a difference again. They were able to utilize the fire station and use that front lobby. They were able to get out of the weather, and it went really well. The other noteworthy item is our call volume is slightly down, and one of our more problematic areas within the community, with cooperation from the Sheriff's Department and the Housing and Community Development Group, who manages that state-managed facility, the call volumes dropped about 30%. So that's very helpful for us. We see that as seasonal influx of activity there, and right now it's at a low, which is unusual. It's a good thing.
By the way, I see you guys out there cleaning up the mission, right?
We did do that. That was a fuel management program. In a sense, the mission had a large accumulation of brush, so they have a big event coming in. It was a good community effort to get the fire department out there with the C.S.D. shipper. We had some of the mission staff on hand. Only fire department staff were allowed to work the machine, but it went very well. And I think there's more cleanup to do. The mission's doing great things. We're making headway in getting the Knox boxes installed. I hear that the Father wants to have 3 in lieu of my request of only 2, which is a good thing. So we'll get the Knox boxes. We can have key access to make access to the facility in the middle of the night. There's a lot of false alarms that go on. If a sprinkler line goes in the chapel, we need to get to that immediately because it'll destroy the adobe and the frescoes. So it's something we've been working on for a while. We're making headway.
Any comment? Owen?
No.
Okay. Any public comment on staff committee reports? Please come forward, sign in at the lectern. Seeing none, we'll move on to consent calendar. The items listed below are scheduled to be for consideration as a group and one vote. Any director may request that the item be withdrawn from the consent calendar agenda to discuss or to change the recommended course of action. Unless an item is pulled for separate consideration by the board, the following items are recommended for approval without further discussion. Public comment. Have any? Approach the lectern. Seeing none. Yes.
Are you gonna ask the board if anything gets pulled?
Well, I'm about ready to do that before you.
Well, I was just trying to
I
figure
was
out.
trying to find it. Board have anything that they want to do with this section? I'm calling for it.
Yes. Yeah, well, I got a question on this, number 2 before. It says 2024 Volunteer Fire Assistance Grant, BFA. What's that money gonna be used for, Scott?
It's going to be used for exactly what the grant spells out in the documentation. We're going to buy more turnouts for the firefighters and additional radios. We have a continual demand to keep on par with communications, and this is the annual grant that we apply for. We typically receive funding for it. It's accounted for in our budget. And we're looking, I believe it was 5 sets of turnouts and 6 or 7 radios and all the necessary components to keep those radios functional. Chargers, batteries, protective gear for the radios.
What page is that?
Starts on page 57.
There's a list on page 50.
I know I lost it. You messed it up.
What's that?
Stop saying that she messed everything up with your computer.
57.
The list is on page 59, the report starts on page 57.
So you'll see the agreement. The agreement has all the items that were approved by the state for us to purchase again this year. Some of them are repeat items. Actually, everything's a repeat item because we have a constant demand. Our turnouts do time out. And we're looking to get 5 sets of turnouts for our staff and communication items. And as you can see by the inventory, those are pricey items, so any assistance we can get is greatly appreciated.
So I'm sorry, I don't understand. Are we pulling that as a off the consent calendar?
You don't have to pull it if it's just clarification, but if
Okay.
Director Davis would like to pull it, you can pull it.
I would like to pull it.
Okay, consider it pulled.
For further discussion later?
Yes.
So we're gonna need a motion on the item 1, 9.1.
I'll move to approve item 1 in the minutes.
I'll second.
Gregory. Okay. Director Davis?
Yes.
Director Baker?
Yes.
Director Gregory?
Yes.
Director Smiley?
Yes.
Passes 4-1, 0, 1 absent. Do you have anything else you'd like to discuss on item 2, Director Davis?
No.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion by any other board members?
No, I don't believe so. Public comment?
Discuss it at a later date.
Gregory, I have a quick question about the turnouts, and I don't know what the turnouts cost today. I haven't been on the job in 17 years. As a retired fireman, I'm like, when you have people you're training and you buy turnouts for them, whatever they cost, those turnouts belong to the C.S.D. or is the employee paying? And if the employee is going to leave, and are they taking the turnouts, or if the turnouts stay here, and were they purchased to fit that guy? Or to fit anybody? So, a turnout coat, turnout pants, the boots, the whole rigmarole, all this stuff. Who owns it? Where does it stay? Whose name's on it? Where is it going? And then why do you need to replace it? If a guy leaves or a guy stays, who's it belong to? That's all I'm curious about.
Question.
Any other public comment? Okay. Move on to the board action items.
We need to,
Did you guys, you need to vote to approve that
Oh,
item
I know.
or?
On the board of directors meeting.
on the volunteer.
So on the volunteer firefighter assistance grant, you guys need to vote to approve that.
It's full.
Or-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay.
So I'm looking for a motion.
All motion approved.
I'll second.
Gregory Baker. Director Baker?
Yes.
Director Davis?
This is to have it pulled, right?
No, this is to approve it.
To approve it.
No.
We already pulled it.
Oh,
So no?
yeah.
Okay. Director Gregory?
Yes.
Director Smiley?
Yes.
Passes 3-1 with 1 absent.
The board like a response to the comment?
Sure.
That's real simple.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All the gear belongs to the fire department. We do size people because we have to have a body to fit the turnouts. We try to find people that are of a variety of anatomical sizes. So when we do have turnover, the next guy coming in will fit into those, or can fit into those turnouts. They time out. They have a 10-year lifespan, and once they reach that 10-year, they're no longer NFPA compliant. The names on the back are Velcro name rockers. If a member moves on to another department, which happens quite often, we give them that Velcro name rockers. They can take and put it on their wall or in their shadow box or whatever they choose to do with it. Personal gear that they purchase for themselves, or the association purchases personal gear for firefighters, such as rescue tools, little handheld pliers, stuff like that. Flashlights perhaps that belong to them. They'll take that with them. But the helmets, gloves, boots, jackets, pants, suspenders, all belong, Nomex, hoodies, all belong to the fire department, and we retain them. The surplus gear that has reached its shelf life of 10 years goes into like a training cache, so we can beat that stuff up and not compromise our new gear. And it's an NFPA requirement that we have backup gear, so every firefighter should have 2 sets of gear. If we go out and we get to a situation that has contaminants, we have to wash that gear. Well, we need something to get into. So we're trying to get up to compliance. It's a rough road rough hill to climb, but we always strive for